Good evening. Tropical cyclone wind signal number 3 remains hoisted over 2 areas in Cagayan as Typhoon Marce becomes almost stationary over waters east of northern Cagayan. According to Pag-asa's 5 p.m. bulletin on Wednesday, November 6, Santa Ana and Gonzaga towns in mainland Cagayan are under signal number 3, where gale of force winds may bring moderate significant threat to life and property. Signal number 2 is raised over 6 areas in northern Luzon, while 12 other areas are under signal number 1. Minor to moderate impacts from gale force winds are expected in areas under signal number 2, while those under signal number 1 may experience minimal to minor impacts from strong winds. According to Pag-asa, heavy to intense rains are forecast over Cagayan, Apayao, and Ilocos Norte from Wednesday until Thursday afternoon, November 7. Meanwhile, Batanes, Abra, Isabela, Ilocos Sur, and Aurora may experience moderate to heavy rains. Marce is expected to make landfall and traverse or pass close to Babuyan Islands or the northern portions of mainland Cagayan, Ilocos Norte, and Apayao from Thursday afternoon to Friday early morning, November 8. As of 4 p.m. on Wednesday, Typhoon Marce was spotted 295 kilometers east of Apari, Cagayan, moving slowly to the west. It packs maximum sustained winds of 150 kilometers per hour near the center and gustiness of up to 185 kilometers per hour. Marce may exit the Philippine area of responsibility on Friday evening. Donald Trump claims victory and pledges to heal the United States as results put him on the verge of beating Kamala Harris in a stunning White House comeback. U.S. media project that Trump has won in more than half of the 50 U.S. states, including 3 key battlegrounds: Georgia, North Carolina, and Pennsylvania, 2 of which voted Democratic in the last election. That gives Trump 266 electoral votes as of 5 p.m. Manila time, just shy of the 270 needed to win the presidency, while Harris is at 219 electoral votes. While only Fox News has declared him the winner so far, Trump takes the stage at his campaign headquarters in Florida, along with his wife Melania and several of his children, to thank his supporters.
But it's a political victory that our country has never seen before, nothing like this. I want to thank the American people for the extraordinary honor of being elected your 47th president and your 45th president.
Trump also vows to fix the country, saying the United States needs to heal.
We're going to help our country heal. We're going to help our country heal. We have a country that needs help, and it needs help very badly. We're going to fix our borders. We're going to fix everything about our country. And we made history for a reason tonight, and the reason is going to be just that. We overcame obstacles that nobody thought possible, and it is now clear that we've achieved the most incredible political thing.
Meanwhile, gloom swiftly descends on Harris's camp as she cancels a watch party for supporters who dreamed of seeing her elected as America's first woman president. In a further blow to Democrats, Trump's Republican Party also seized control of the Senate, flipping 2 seats to overturn a narrow Democratic majority. Trump will be the oldest ever president at the time of inauguration, the first felon president, and only the second in history to serve in non-consecutive terms. President Bongbong Marcos congratulates Republican candidate Donald Trump for his projected victory in the U.S. presidential elections. In a statement on Wednesday, November 6, Marcos says his administration looks forward to working with Trump on a wide range of issues, citing the Philippines and U.S.'s long history of working together. According to Marcos, he is hopeful that the unshakable alliance between the 2 countries will blaze a path of prosperity and amity in the region and on both sides of the Pacific. Marcos says the Philippines is fully committed to its partnership with the U.S., which is founded on the ideals of freedom and democracy. Trump earlier claimed a victory over Democrat Kamala Harris in the fight for the presidency, as results put him on the verge of one of the most stunning comebacks in U.S. political history. The U.S. is one of the Philippines' primary allies in its fight for sovereignty in the West Philippine Sea. due to recent aggression by China against Philippine vessels in the West Philippine Sea. Proposals to invoke the Mutual Defense Treaty between Manila and Washington have grown louder. Philippine Ambassador to the United States, Jose Manuel Romualdez, earlier expressed confidence that defense ties between the Philippines and U.S. will remain unchanged, regardless of who becomes the next U.S. president. Former President Rodrigo Duterte will not attend the House of Representatives Quad Committee's November 7 probe into his administration's bloody war on drugs, according to his lawyer. In a letter sent to Quad Committee co-chairperson Robert Ace Barbers, Duterte's lawyer, attorney Martin Delgra III, says he received the mega panel's invitation on behalf of his client on November 2. Upon consultation with his client, Delgra says Duterte wants to skip the probe in order to supposedly save government time and taxpayers' money. He adds that the Quad panel should instead refer to the transcript of the October 28 Senate drug war probe. Although Duterte respects and recognizes the authority of the committees to conduct inquiries in aid of legislation, Delgra reveals that his client is already doubtful of the mega panel's integrity as well as its independence and probity. In the letter, Delgra calls the House Quad comm inquiry a mere political ploy aimed to indict Duterte for crimes he supposedly did not commit. Duterte's lawyer also cites how vocal Quadcom co-chairs Bienvenido Abante Jr. and Dan Fernandez are that Duterte should be held liable for the crime of a willful killing and alleging that facts are clear. Duterte's camp believes the proper course of action would be for Abante and Fernandez to file the proper criminal cases against Duterte before the Department of Justice, noting that the Philippines has a fully functioning judicial system. Other reasons Delgra mentions are the panel's supposed attempt to pressure resource persons to, quote, admit matters under oath that they lack knowledge of, or, quote, unduly induce them to say something not true. The lawyer also stresses that Duterte already appeared before the Senate Blue Ribbon Subcommittee on October 28 when the former president admitted he ordered police to encourage suspects to fight back so they could be killed. The VIP passenger aboard the white sports utility vehicle with plate number 7 that used the EDSA bus lane is related to a senator, according to Senator Rafi Tulfo. At a press conference on Wednesday, November 6, Tulfo was asked about the legitimacy of circulating reports that the vehicle was listed under the names of William and Kenneth Gatchalian, who are the father and brother of Senator Sherwin Gatchalian. According to Tulfo, relatives of a senator were on board the SUV with plate number 7 that reportedly attempted to run over an enforcer being flagged for using the bus lane in Guadalupe, Makati City.
Ang may-ari ng sasakyan ay Orient Pacific Corporation na kung saan board members nga yung mga binanggit mong pangalan. I know for a fact na wala sa 24 senators namin ang involved doon sa skandalong yon sa EDSA. Although, I also know for a fact na ito related sa isang senador.
Not related.
Related ito sa isang senador. Pero hindi yung senador ang sakay ng SUV na yan at that time.
For sport, Tulfo says he intends to file a resolution seeking to probe the matter and prevent incidents such as this, adding that the use of protocol plates is being abused. Tulfo likewise calls on the VIP passenger to come out and finally come clean.
Huwag mo nang pahirapan pa ang maraming tao. Aminin mo na, sabihin mo na nagkamali ka, isurrender mo yung driver mo, and mag-apologize. Kasi sa ngayon, ano nangyari, na pagbibintangan ang 24 ninyong senators.
Earlier Wednesday, the driver and representatives of Orient Pacific Corporation appeared at the Land Transportation Office's press conference to apologize for the incident. When asked about how Orient Pacific Corporation came to possess the 7 plate assigned for senators, its director Omar Ginomla only says the company is still conducting its own internal investigation. According to the LTO, the SUV's plate is considered unauthorized as the agency did not issue the 7 protocol plates to this specific vehicle. The Office of the Vice President confirms its Chief of Staff, Undersecretary Zica Lopez, left the country, saying the trip was personal and unrelated to her employment. In a statement late Tuesday evening, November 5, the OVP says Lopez's overseas trip from November 4 to 16 has nothing to do with her employment with the OVP. According to the OVP, Vice President Sara Duterte approved the travel of Lopez as she submitted the necessary travel documents required of government officials. The OVP brands speculations about the purpose of Lopez's travel as, quote, unfounded and unnecessary. The agency also requests for the privacy of Lopez's family during what it calls a difficult time. Lopez is among the 7 OVP officials linked to the alleged misuse of government funds under Duterte's watch, which is being investigated by the House Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability. Lawmakers learned during the panel's hearing on Tuesday that Lopez left the country for Los Angeles, California on Monday night, November 4. The panel then issued another subpoena against Lopez and several others for their repeated absences from the committee's hearings. The country's unemployment rate drops to 3.7% in September, with a notable rise in female workers joining the labor force, particularly in the retail industry. Data from the Philippine Statistics Authority show the unemployment rate moved at its lowest pace in 3 months, or since the 3.1% figure in June. September's jobless rate of 3.7% is lower compared to the 4% jobless rate in August and 4.5% in September last year. September 2024's unemployment rate translates to 1.89 million jobless Filipinos, slightly lower than the 2.07 million jobless Filipinos in August 2024. In September, the female labor force participation rate increased to 55.7%. Of this, 21 million women were employed in September, much higher than the 20.54 million in August. The labor force participation rate is the proportion of the total labor in the working age population of 15 years old and over. These are the stories you need to know today. I'm Neil Mercado. Follow INQUIRER.net on Facebook, X, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Reddit. For more stories, visit INQUIRER.net. Good evening.